Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be doing our seventh and final lesson for our first science unit. Now, before you go too far into this video, if you haven't already, go back into the post with this video and watch the YouTube video about making strong shapes with triangles. All right, or making strong structures with triangles. Pardon me. All right, watch that first, and then come back here. I'll give you a moment to pause now. Okay, assuming that you have watched that video, there's an activity here that if you have drinking straws at home, you can do it. If not, the video that you just watched should illustrate this fact. So you would take a drinking straw and you would use it to make a square, a rectangle, and a triangle. All right? If you have a drinking straw and you've done that, the next thing you would do is you would push on the edges, right? And you'll notice, just like in that video, that the square and the rectangle, when you push on the corner, it will collapse, while the triangular one holds its shape a little better. It's a little more resistant to um, being bent out of shape. All right? So triangles are the strongest two-dimensional shape that you can use for building a structure. All right, that is what that is meant to illustrate. Yes, so it resists internal and external forces. So things like compression, as well as somebody pushing on it uh, with an external force, compression and internal force, things like this, which is why you'll often see inside buildings, if you look at the framing, you'll see a lot of triangles. Okay, so normally if you were in the classroom, we would be going through pages 302 and 303 and then discussing what was here. But unfortunately, we're not in the classroom. So I have gone out of my way in our note here to talk about these components. All right? So I'm going to read through this with you and talk about it as we go. Okay? So go into your book, your package, pull out this note, and I will read it along with you. Okay? Pause now if you have to. Okay. So, there are several features which builders use to strengthen structures. So first here we have an arch. An arch is a shape often used in bridges because it can support a large load. This is because the force of the load is carried through to the foundation, which spreads out the load. So basically, the bridge would be up here, the load, so the force from everything going across the bridge, pushes down here, and then it gets transferred all the way down the legs of the arch into the ground. The ground's pretty big, so any loads up here get spread out across the entire ground, which makes the bridge less likely to collapse. Beams are flat structures that increase the strength of larger structures. Beams are used for reinforcement. So this is what a simple beam looks like, just a rectangle of some material. This one is wood, it could be steel. So that's a simple beam. There are several types of beams. An I-beam has a shape that gives it strength. So this is an I-beam. You can see it's shaped like an I. The shape of it, this piece between the top and the bottom, is what gives it the extra reinforcement, so it doesn't collapse as easily or break as easily under a force. A girder is a long beam in the shape of a hollow rectangular prism, so that's like this guy. All right. A truss is a framework of beams joined together, usually in the shape of triangles for added strength, right? Like we would see in a truss bridge. Remember, again, we use triangles to make it stronger. This is our truss. All right. A cantilever is a beam that's supported at only one end, and these are made to bend to support a load. So this is a cantilever. See, it's supported at one end. You could put a load here and it would bend to help support. All right, a column is a solid structure that can stand by itself. These are used to support beams, right? And this is what a column looks like. So your beams would be run over top of it. Okay? Your tasks for today. You have to do this one. This one says designing structures to resist forces, worksheet 1.7. So I want you to tell me what an arch is, what a beam is, what a truss is, what a cantilever is, and what a column is. Tell me which of these two, a beam bridge or a truss bridge, which one you would expect to be stronger. You can tell me why too, that would be great. You can say, why might you use a beam bridge instead of a truss bridge? There's a little hint here. And this question is, the strength of a certain wooden beam is 1,000 kilograms when it's used as a cantilever, right? What's the maximum weight that it can carry? Well, if the strength is 1,000 kilograms, I'm sure you can figure out what the maximum weight is. And then I want you to tell me what would happen to it if 1,001, so 1 kilogram more weight were to be placed on it. Okay? Now, there is also, you will find in your package, this activity about tower design. Okay? And there are instructions for it also attached. They start with the tallest tower. I don't expect you to do this. Okay? I would even go so far as to say, do not do this. Unless you have some of these things. If you have some of these things and you want to just do it for fun or for your own understanding, that's fine. But I'm not actually expecting you to do this. I just included it in case someone was interested. Okay? That's all there is to it. So this is the last of this first science unit. Our next unit will be a social studies unit. Okay? And then once that's done, we'll come back to another science unit. All right? But this is the end of our first science unit. Okay? So once you get it all done, bring it in to be handed in. Okay, so until next time, take care of yourselves and stay safe.